No one remembered her name. Not the people who once lived on the land where she now worked, not the corporations that swallowed up her family's legacy, not even the man she once believed would come back for her. But on that blistering Louisiana afternoon, on a cracked, sun-bleached stretch of highway no one drove unless they had to, she became the lifeline for a man who thought he had everything until his world stopped with a sputter and a hiss. The engine of a sleek black luxury car gave out with a dramatic plume of steam. Alec Prescott, CEO of Prescott Solutions, and a man used to snapping his fingers to make problems disappear, cursed beneath his breath as he checked his watch. He was supposed to be in Baton Rouge in less than 20 minutes, delivering a high-stakes presentation to investors who could make or break the future of his empire. But now, stranded between cell towers and cities, he stood helpless beside his Maserati, sweat soaking into the collar of his silk shirt, his $1,000 tie limp against the humidity. He popped the hood, pretending he knew what he was doing, only to be greeted by a suffocating cloud of heat and smoke. He staggered back, muttering, "Perfect, just perfect." From behind, the hum of a beat-up pickup truck approached, rattling like it barely held together. The sound pulled Alec from his growing panic. The truck came to a halt, and out stepped a woman in worn jeans and a plaid shirt, her sleeves rolled high to reveal strong, grease-streaked arms. Her dark skin gleamed under the sun, and her tight curls were tied back into a no-nonsense bun. "You need help?" she asked, walking toward him without hesitation, her tone even but firm. Alec glanced at her, irritated and skeptical. "I've got a meeting in 15 minutes, he snapped. "My assistant was sending someone, but there's no damn signal out here." She didn't flinch, didn't bother acknowledging the attitude. She leaned into the smoking engine, assessing the damage like she'd done this 100 times before. "Cooling system shot," she said. "I can patch it enough to get you to the city, but it won't last forever." Alex stared at her. "You sure?" "I'm a mechanic. I've got a shop 10 miles that way," she replied, tilting her chin toward the east. She walked back to her truck and returned with a battered toolbox, then dove into the engine like a surgeon in the operating room. Her hands were quick and precise, her motions sharp and confident. Alec found himself strangely quiet, watching as she adjusted cables and tightened valves. "Another 5 minutes, and you would have cooked the whole engine," she muttered. "These cars are powerful but fragile, kind of like some people." He ignored the jab. "How do you know so much about cars like this in a place like this?" She paused, raised an eyebrow, and looked over her shoulder. "In a forgotten town," she finished for him. "I read. I study. I take pride in my work. Excellence isn't exclusive to big cities, Mr. Prescott." He blinked. "You know who I am?" She closed the hood with a solid thunk. "You're in the business section of the paper almost every week." He reached for his wallet. "Let me pay you for your time." She held out her hand. As he placed the bills in her palm, something froze in his chest. A ring. A small, antique silver ring with a blue sapphire nestled in the center. Too delicate for her line of work. Too familiar. His breath caught. His hand stayed frozen over hers. "Where did you get that ring?" She instinctively closed her fingers around it. "It was my mother's," she said carefully. "Why do you ask?" A flash of memory sunlight through oak trees, a promise made by a boy too young to understand time, a ring placed on a little girl's hand with the solemn vow, "I'll come back for you." Alec's voice cracked. "What's your name?" She hesitated. "Lena." He blinked. "Lena Carson?" She stepped back. "If the car breaks down again, the shop's 10 miles east. First turn after the Aurora City sign." Then she was in her truck, starting the engine, leaving him standing there in the rising heat with more questions than answers. He drove off, his mind spiraling. Back at her workshop, Carson Auto and Repair, Lena ripped off her gloves and dove into a busted carburetor like it owed her a decade of answers. "You're going to crack it if you twist that hard," her uncle, Gerald Carson, warned as he walked in from the back. He was tall, gray at the temples, and the only family she had left. "He showed up," she said, not looking up. Gerald paused. "Alec Prescott." "The same. And he didn't recognize me. Just stared at the ring." Gerald sighed. That ring's been the only thing holding the past together. That night, Lena pulled out a box from beneath her bed. Inside were clippings Alec's rise in the tech world, his philanthropic stunts, and his very public engagement to Celine Drayton, heiress to a fashion conglomerate. She touched the ring. "Tomorrow he won't even remember," she whispered. She was wrong. The next morning, a nondescript sedan pulled up to the workshop. Alec stepped out. No suit, no entourage. "We're open," Lena called, not looking up. "I came to return this," he said, holding something out. A wooden brooch. A bird with spread wings. She gasped. "You carved this," he said. "Open Heart Orphanage. Or Iron Wing. You were the girl who taught me how to carve. When the other boys laughed, you didn't. You promised to come back," she whispered. "I tried. But my father, he had other plans." Gerald appeared. "So the prodigal son returns. I know I don't deserve it," Alec said. "But I want to explain." Lena crossed her arms. "Why now?" Alec hesitated. "In 3 weeks, I'm marrying a woman I don't love to inherit a company I hate." Then I saw that ring, and everything changed. His phone buzzed. "Celine. Again." He silenced it. "What do you want from me?" Lena asked. "Forgiveness. Answers. And maybe a way to make things right." What Alec didn't say was that he'd uncovered documents the night before. Hidden records showing that Lena's family land had been stolen by his father, Edgar Prescott. Forged deeds, false deaths, buried history. What Lena hadn't told anyone was that she had those same documents hidden in a drawer in the back of the shop. Documents showing that the land Alec's company now owned had once belonged to her mother. Documents signed by Edgar himself. In that instant, they both realized the same thing. This wasn't just about childhood promises. This was about justice. 3 days later, Alec was still digging through his father's archives. And then he found it Project Aurora. Inside, a forged death certificate for Amelia Carson, Lena's mother. "She didn't abandon her," he whispered. "He made her disappear." At the shop, Lena revealed the files to her uncle. "I'm confronting him," she said. "It's dangerous," Gerald warned. "I have nothing left to lose." She texted Alec. "Central Square. 20 minutes. Come alone." The square was nearly empty when he arrived. Lena stood beneath a tree. "My mother didn't leave me," she said as he approached. "She was forced to, so they could take our land. Land with one of the largest freshwater reserves in the region." Alec held out his own documents. "I found these too. My father, he had her declared dead. He used that to steal everything. And I think she's still alive," Lena added. "I got a letter 8 years ago. The handwriting was hers. It was postmarked from New Hope Psychiatric." "Don't wait," Alec said, resolve strengthening. "Let's expose this tonight. The event's tomorrow." "No." He moved it up, afraid of leaks. "It's happening tonight." That evening, at the grand opening of the new Prescott Corporate Center, the elite mingled over champagne. Edgar beamed, proud of his empire. Then Alec arrived with Lena at his side. "What's she doing here?" Edgar hissed. "She's got a story," Alec said. "One I think everyone should hear." In the office, Edgar sneered at Lena. "How much do you want to disappear?" "I want my mother. She doesn't even remember you." "She's alive," Alec said, recording everything. "You kept her hidden." "That land was worth billions," Edgar snapped. "I did what I had to." At the door, Gerald entered. Behind him, a woman with tired eyes and Lena's face. "Mom," Lena whispered. Amelia Carson stepped forward. "Lena," she choked out. In the hallway, Celine stood silently, filming the reunion. As the pieces fell into place, fraud, corruption, kidnapping, the final blow came when Edgar spat. "You think I'd hand my company to a bastard?" "What?" Alec whispered. "You're not my son," Edgar sneered. "We adopted you from that orphanage to replace the one we lost." Elise stepped forward, holding a folder. "He's not lying," she said. "I found the records. Alec isn't your son, but he's hers." The silence was deafening. Lena and Alec stared at each other. Same eyes, same ring, same mother. "You're my brother," Lena whispered. Amelia nodded, tears flowing. Police sirens cut through the night. "This ends now," Alec said. The next week, headlines exploded. Edgar Prescott arrested. Prescott Enterprises in shambles. fraud, kidnapping, forged documents. Alec dropped the Prescott name and reclaimed the one he never knew, Carson. The land was returned to the Carson family. The corporate project became a nature reserve and a community center. 6 months later, at Carson Auto and Repair Now renovated Lena adjusted a carburetor while Alec drafted plans for the Carson Foundation for displaced children. Still strange? She asked. Yes, Alec said, smiling. But it's the truth, and that matters more. Amelia entered with lemonade. That ring, she said, kept us together even when we didn't know it. Sometimes it's the smallest things: a ring, a brooch, a promise capable of undoing the biggest lies. And sometimes, even the deepest secrets can't stay buried when love, truth, and family finally come home.